You know, the thing about cycling is it's like a contest. You know, running is like, okay, start the stopwatch. You know, I can't beat that guy. But in bike racing, on your day, you can beat anybody. It's Bob Mayansky with Bicycle Law Today, and I have the privilege of introducing you to a few people that I'm pretty impressed with. And they're all part of the Bikes and Ideas for Kids Empowerment, and that's b.i.k.e.
My name is Denzel Law, and I'm the Executive Director of b.i.k.e, and I love cycling.
My name is Maurice Ritchie. I like riding bikes, and I want to go to college in 2026.
My name is Mateen Ritchie. I'm with b.i.k.e, and I start college in the fall.
Be the first of that group. Another junior in there, Mateen Ritchie.
Now Mateen just got done with high school, just raced right where he had his graduation party. You've been in the bike program how long, Mateen?
4 or 5 years.
Bike has done a lot for me. I don't know where I would be without it because I wouldn't be into bikes. I want to be into just bettering myself. I see my friends like smoking or just doing drugs and drinking and all of that, and I guess that gave me a reason not to do those things. Like, no, I have a race next week or 40-mile ride to do tomorrow.
I feel like the whole idea of sport is being able to push yourself to your limits, and especially from a training component. If you're not necessarily pushing yourself to your limits in your training, you actually won't know your limits in a race.
Well, sometimes when you're training by yourself like that, you can say, well, there's no one out here, so I'm going to just go a little harder than I really can.
Yeah.
And if I crack, no one's going to know.
Right.
I used to do that, just sit in that like really deep red zone, and I'd say, I can quit in 10 seconds, but how hard can I go for 10 more seconds? And then it turns into 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And then when you're in the race someday, you do that same thing, and the other guys are like, whoa, how'd he get so fast? But you only know you can go 20 seconds, but
Right. They
you don't tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you train to say, okay, if I get to this certain point, I'm going to push it past this threshold, that you know that you can do that in a race.
You tell these guys to do that too.
I always say give it your best, whether it's racing bikes, your job, school, whatever. I feel like you should always give it 110%.
I don't know if this happens to you, Maurice, but all of a sudden everybody goes really fast for a little while.
I get dropped a lot when we're going fast, but it doesn't last for long. Like, if you're racing, don't be at the front. You want to be behind somebody, get on the draft, and at the end, you do a sprint, because you're just using a lot more energy.
Yeah, that's right. That's smart. You know, drafting is like, it's a skill. It's not just being on the wheel. Like, I suffered a lot when I raced, so I got really good at drafting. Like, they say, well, that's close enough. Well, you find out if you go just a little bit closer, it gets a little bit easier. Pretty soon, I have my wheel right in on their derailleur. You got to know what to do if they move, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't know if I'm riding next to their derailleur, but I'm definitely trying to get in that slipstream. As far as the program as a whole, my biggest thing is community. I think growing up, I've always had so many different mentors, and I really wanted to give back to the community, even at a younger age, and I just noticed the difference that it made in the children's lives. You know, being able to instill the confidence, instill all the foundations of bike into them. Benevolence, good form, team, simplicity, seeing how they can develop as young adults, and then later on just being good contributing adults in the community. Having the community with bike, we just need to focus on our own little communities, because that's where we live, that's where we thrive, and hopefully being able to give back and just kind of a chain reaction